Hello beach bums, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Matthew Isbell. I post a lot of surf fishing videos, but today we are at the Bass Pro. I'm gonna walk in, we're targeting some big fish on the beach. We're gonna see what lures they've got to offer to target these giant fish. Let's go check it out. Bass Pro has a few good options for long casting in the surf. They've got the Rapala X-Wrap long cast, which is weighted differently. It's got the single hooks on it as well, so you can like fling this bait. They don't have a lot of poppers. I like the Halcos, that's mainly what I use. The 105s and 135s. This is similar to the 105 Halco rooster popper, which I use those a lot, but you can use this also. So these are a couple good options if you want to catch some big fish in the surf. If you're looking to throw stuff out in the surf, I do recommend the long cast models just because you're going to get that weight that you're going to need to fling that bait out.
Those are goldfishes.
Those are crappie and largemouth bass.
Whoa, look at that.
Which one do you want to catch? Which fish?
That one.
The big one?
No, that one right there.
That big one?
Yeah, the one that has that things.
One of my favorite ways to fish is throwing big plugs for big fish in the surf. And I've posted a couple of videos recently doing this style of fishing, and I've gotten a lot of questions about how to target jacks, how to target big redfish from the beach. So I don't normally do this, but I kind of wanted to just go over some of my tackle and tactics before we jump into the fishing portion of this video, so that you can maybe be more successful in this arena if you are looking to target these larger species fish from the surf. Snook, jacks, you know, big snook, big jacks, big redfish. Primarily, I don't have as much experience with snook. I've done a little bit from the beach, but mostly jacks and big redfish and even sharks. So getting started out, first I want to talk about your tackle. You definitely want to have something that can handle big fish, that can cast well, especially if you're targeting these from the beach. I like a 10 to 11 foot surf rod. I've got the bummy stick here, but I also use a Star Paraflex, which I've broken here recently. That's a 10'6", works great. Action on the bummy stick is medium heavy fast power, but the line rating is 10 to 25 pound mono and 2 to 6 ounce lure rating. So that just kind of gives you an idea. That's what I use a lot. The Paraflex is very similar in that regard, a little bit lighter. You can throw a little bit lighter lures with a Paraflex if you wanted to. You also want to pair that with something that's got some pretty stout drag. I love the Slammer series reels and pin. This is a Pin Slammer 3, and this is a 4500. Anything 4500, 6500. You want to have a lot of drag and you want to have a lot of line capacity. You want to make sure that you can handle these fish if you are making long casts, and if you hook a big jack or a tarpon or a shark. Sharks make really large initial runs, so you want to make sure you've got plenty of line in there to handle that. And I just have 30 pound braid on here, but 30, 40, 50 pound braid. The lighter the braid, the more casting distance you're going to be able to get. And 30 pound braid is plenty strong enough to handle a lot of these fish. You want to make sure you're focusing in on your leader and your tackle down to your lure on handling the fish, whether it be a shark or whatever. In general, when I'm throwing these heavier plugs and lures and swim baits like I have here, I'm usually running about 50 pound mono. You know, you can run anything from 40 to 60 mono, fluoro, doesn't really matter, but 9 times out of 10 I'm just running 50 pound mono. And if I'm targeting jacks or redfish, I've caught plenty of sharks on 50 pound mono. You just have to get really lucky and hook them the right way. Lures that I use, you see me throw them a lot. This is a popper, and Halco pretty much is all I throw, Halco rooster poppers. These have the single hooks on it. This particular lure, I changed those out myself, but they do come with treble hooks and pretty solid split rings, very solid treble hooks, and that's the main thing you want to look for. You want to make sure you're buying quality tackle, because these fish are heavy, they pull hard, they have heavy head shakes. You want to make sure that you can handle those fish pretty well. This is the 105 size. I also throw the 135, which is a little bit longer. I think this is 3.5 inch, and I think the 135 is a 5 inch. I like this better for redfish, but jacks and sharks will still hit that. I also throw a lot of jerk baits. This is a Rapala X-Wrap, and this is the long cast model in the size 12. I throw it a lot, and the long cast model does come with single hooks already on it, and it's weighted heavier than your traditional treble hook X wraps that you're going to see that we throw from the piers a lot of the time, but this is a little heavier so you can get those further casts from the beach. And I do throw some swim baits from time to time. I've thrown hoagies, NLBNs. What I have tied on right here, this is just a 5-inch bomber with a 3/4 inch NLBN jig head. But anything heavy, you know, 1 ounce to 2 ounce jig head is probably a little bit better. This is just all I had in my bag that would fit this lure, but great size lure, something in the you know, 3.5, 5 to 7 inch range. A lot of times I'll throw those. When I was in the Northeast fishing for stripers, we were throwing 7-inch paddle tails, and I was using my Star Paraflex with a 6500 slammer and 40-pound braid. So that just kind of gives you an idea of the tackle to use when you're targeting these fish. It's a lot of time. That's the main thing. You just got to put in a lot of time. You got to keep your eyes peeled, cover a lot of water. There are some areas, like for instance, this particular area that I fish a lot, it is in an inlet. So like there's a bay, there's a mouth opening, and we have this point that is a hot spot for these fish to hang around. So anything like that, any kind of features around jetties, inlets, passes, those big fish will hang around there a lot of times. If you're just walking any random stretch of beach, you can have success. I've done it, but you just got to put in a lot of casts. We're going to try out some of these tactics. We're going to hit the beach this morning and see if we can hook a big fish and put it on the beach. So I talked about some of the lures that I use, but here's like the tackle box that I bring with me when I'm fishing this style, and this is all I bring. I've got spoons. Most of these are 2 to 3 ounce casting spoons, a few poppers. I've got the X wraps, which I like. This is a long cast Yozuri, same idea as the X wraps. And then I have some heavier diamond jigs. So this is generally what I'm going to bring with me when I'm fishing this style, throwing these heavier lures. And this is really all you need. You can rotate through these and you can catch a lot of fish. Of course, I do have some swim baits with me as well, sometimes like the bomber. It's a fairly simple style of fishing. You don't have to overcomplicate it. We just walked up, it's popping. A lot of grass. Might need a popper. I might go ahead and put a popper on. That's good though, it's the most life I've seen here in the morning. There's a lot of grass, so we immediately changed out to the poppers. There's a ton of bait out here going nuts, a lot of small baits, and I've seen some ladyfish. But since there's a lot of activity, I feel good that if there are some predator fish around, they'll be after this popper. Oh, 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 oh. There's a fish. There's a fish. Oh yeah. Come on the popper. I don't know what it is. I don't know if we got a jack or a red or what. But he destroyed it. He's running down the beach. Woo! Come on. You always gotta love a popper explosion early in the morning. Oh yeah. Heavy fish. Here we go. I'm like still waking up this morning, Brad. You got a fish jumping all over your popper. It's fall, and this time of year we get a lot of redfish moving into the bays and river systems, and they can be found pretty well along the inlets and passes. So we're just fishing this point here. Yeah, I'm coming towards you here. Just a heads up. So this might be a red, could be redfish, jack crevalle, one or the other. It's a big fish. There were more with it. Yeah, I mean, it was over that direction.
A bunch of needlefish.
Oh, dang. Those things smell.
Needlefish.
Yeah, they smell awful. Oh, there he goes. He just decided to run. Getting closer to the beach. I think it's a red, but yeah. I don't know, man. Could be a jack. I smell that needlefish, that ammonia smell.
Yeah.
I can smell it. Woo! Big heavy fish dogging me here. I'm coming back towards you, Brad. It might be a jack. Oh, hang on. Oh. There we go. Doing this kind of stuff might be a jack. Yeah. Going back and forth. Good morning. Yeah, so far. I mean, I ain't caught a fish yet, but jacks like to do this where they sit here and go back and forth. Make circles. They turn their head, go this way, go that way, and the fact that he's made a couple of decent runs here a little bit later into this fight kind of makes me think we got a jack. Redfish give up a lot easier. This is the hardest part of the fight right here, right by the beach, because they do not want to hit that sand. They know they want to stay in that water. He doesn't know I'm going to put him right back. Dang. They don't want to quit. There he goes. Look at that. He was right by the beach. They don't quit, man. He's still dogging me. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on them. Jacks test every single nook and cranny of your tackle. Every knot, every leader, every split ring, hook, reel, rod, all of it. Anything you think. Oh, his head's towards the beach. Go, Stay towards the beach. There we go. There we go. That's what we needed. Big fat fall jack. Yeah. There we go. Thank you. All right. First fish of the morning. Definitely wake up call. We're gonna get him back. All right, buddy. Thank you. See you later. Go get it. It's always, there he goes. It's always good just to keep those fish moving.
Hopefully today's video is beneficial for you if you are looking to use artificials to target some of these bigger fish in the surf. If you've had some questions about it, hopefully this answers several of them. If you haven't already, take advantage of signing up for my email list. I have a link in the description. You can go in there. It's, of course, absolutely free. If you sign up for it, I'll send you emails letting you know when I release new videos, upcoming news. I give you a little bit more detail on what I'm doing in these videos in that email as well, so you can kind of get the location, the gear, everything that I'm using. So I try to give you a little bit more info in that email that I send out when I let you know I released a video. YouTube is not doing a great job at sending out notifications, putting my videos on your feeds if you do subscribe. So just make sure you hit up the email list. I'll let you know when I upload a video if you don't mind. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And as always, you stay bummy.